Wassail, beautiful people. It's very early. I don't like these curtains in the image. I don't know how to get rid of them. I suppose I could turn it that way a bit more. So, it's very early, 6 a.m. Did someone just appear there? Wassail McMore. Wassail Dark Fire Dragon. Wow, you see, look, if I tell people what time I'm going to go live, you actually turn up. Oh, Wassail Dark Fire Dragon 2013. So yeah, it's interesting. I looked to work out what would be a good time, and I couldn't do it last night because people would be asleep. Although I still imagine today people knocking on my door. Oh, fabulous. Thank you. And every morning here, Wassail in at 5:30 in the morning, this kind of music appears over speakers all around the town, apparently all around the country, and it's all to do with the sort of communist government's desire to, back in the day, 50 odd years ago, to present the news, to let people know that things were happening, and it's never ended. And a lot of people apparently find enormous comfort, and a lot of the young people are just like, it's so old tech, plastic speakers hanging from lampposts talking to everybody, but they sing songs and they deliver the news that you should know. And it's sort of saying, get up now. Get up and get on with your day. And that's why I think at like 5:30 in the morning when I've been walking in the dark, the people are up and they're sweeping the streets because it's really loud here. I never noticed it in Saigon because Saigon's so noisy. But here, this 5:30 wake-up call. So presumably all the guests in the hotel, because the hotel's been empty until now. Hopefully, everyone's got up to embrace the day. I've been out, I've already bought a coffee, which I've drunk, and I've filled it with water. Wassail, la 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 Kate, and Wassail, Kathy. Oh, how exciting that you're all here. And Wassail, Lisa P9258. Yeah, yay for coffee. So let me tell you how they make the coffee here. They don't have fresh milk because they don't have, well, maybe they do now, but traditionally, they didn't have refrigeration units, and so they never got used to fresh milk. So they've always had sweetened condensed canned milk. So they put about that much into a cup, and then they fill it with really, really strong, Robusta, dark black coffee, and then they stir it together, and then they just dump a ton of ice on it, because I haven't had a hot coffee since arriving here. I haven't had a hot drink. The only thing I've had warm has been a pot of instant noodles. So who else is here? Just checking in. So look, if you're sending a donation to help me with my accommodation and my travel, and so that you can have a reading, I'm not going to check. You'll just have to keep reminding me, because I trust people. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check it later though, Kathy. I trust people. I have to live that way. If someone says they've sent money, they've sent money, and that will help me because I was getting a little bit to a point where I was thinking, how am I going to get off this island? But I will. I mean, I do trust. It's just sometimes comedy notions go through my head. So just give me a moment to tune into Camille. I can't tell you. Actually, before we begin, let me tell you something about Camille Sansong. If you don't know him, you should know him. He is. Oh, okay. Kathy, we'll get them. We'll get them. Thank you. I'll come back to you in a second. You can tell me. So yes, Sansong came here in 1895, so 131 years ago, which is interesting because I'm here for lunar eclipse 133. So there's a lot of the numbers of 1 and 3. Oh my God, Kathy, and you've got 1311 at that exact moment. So he came here to stay with the governor of the island. Wassail, Holly Coons. Holly, did you see the pig reading? I did do it. So he arrived, Sanson, in Saigon, and he was here for a lunar eclipse. I think it was a lunar eclipse. Hang on, give me a moment. Yeah, lunar eclipse 121. And when he was in Saigon, I arrived at the point where there was a solar eclipse. So there was a kind of a key energy of something coming together. And then he was here. His eclipse was lunar eclipse 121. I landed on solar eclipse 121. So a mirror energy. And I feel like I needed to look more into him because I've been to the house he stayed in and I've been learning a lot about him. I played pieces of his music when I was a child as well. And this is the really profound thing. He was a mathematician and an astrologer or astronomer. He wrote papers about the movement of the music of the spheres, which I talk about all the time. And he believed that after everything that humans might imagine they create, the grinding of the music of the spheres clock, the great cosmic eclipse clock that I talk about, he believed that it would just bring everything back to the natural world. So he is an amazing guy. Also, I mean, lots of other sort of very interesting stories about him, but I'll bring them up if they need to come up. Let's start with Mick Moore. A grand wassail. I like that, Kathy. I like a grand wassail. So, I need to put that back because I was too busy. I wasn't focused in the energy. So, Camille, Mick Moore would like to understand the composed melody that you would like to give to her to help her come out of the eclipse on Tuesday with a kind of melody of, see, I wanted to say a melody of correction then, but a melody that he's going to compose that will help you to dance into the timeline awaiting you. So, he's given us 3 cards. So we're beginning with Taurus. Taurus is to amass density. It's the full symphony orchestra. I mean, so Sanson, he was an amazing composer and he was very good at working with the forces of the full symphony orchestra. He believed that, and this must be for your part of your eclipse tunnel energy, he believed that you could take a seed of a melody, even if it was just the one note beginning here with the F sharp. Wow, see that? I'm telling you, Mick that Camille is our friend. I mean, I have a friend. She thinks I was Camille Cecil. But I don't think I was. I just think everyone can tune into archetypes. I'm just opening my piano because I'm going to have to sing and I forgot to do that. And it will make advert noises. So, what was I going to say? Seed, yes. So you could take the seed. And then he believed you could expand the seed. You could grow the seed slowly over the course of music until it turned into a great and huge resolution. I'm thinking particularly here, I know I've mentioned it before, but Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony is the best example of that. The melodies begin in the first movement, and then what happens is that there's a kind of canonic movement, and this gets, and it gets really quite manic and frantic. And then you get this moment where it moves up towards a G major chord. And for me, G major is a representation of letting go of life. You know, a re-death and birth, as people call it. But they don't, I call it that. So you get this G major chord and there's this oboe that comes in, and it's almost like a hand just soothes a fevered brow, and everything reaches this beautiful, kind of peaceful G major resolution. And then suddenly the entire orchestra and this huge Jupiter-like pedal organ just pushes in on a C major chord, and it's the rebirth, it's the waking up. So you have this F sharp. Oh, toned it down so you couldn't hear it. That's a bit loud. And then the next card you have is Sappho. So Sappho is evening bathing rituals. So I would say that there's something about you needing to almost cleanse off the distortions that an eclipse tunnel brings us. So there's something about the need to wash and bathe yourself, to smudge yourself, all of these things. So it's to sort of give yourself, it has this line of vocal aphrodisiacs and purring poetry. Now, that could either mean that you need to surround yourself in the bath with poetry, with poems written. You know, you could write poems of things you wish to release, things you wish to bring towards you, and take them to the bath with you. Take the writings, take the words, because this is electrifying wordsmithery, and it is a G sharp. It is the notion of Mercury becoming fluid, leaning into the waters. And then your final card that he's offering to you is the note D. Psyche is to be deified. There's something about glorify yourself and you will be deified. But you have to amass density. It's interesting, this amass density is the second. It's to chill down, it's the congelation, but there's something about it where it feels like ground yourself in the Akashic Ocean. And the best way for you to do that is in a bathing ritual. That's what seems to be coming through here. So let's give you the line The three that you have here is I am light, I am expressive, and I am blessed. So what you're releasing is I am weighted, I am tongue-tied, and I am forsaken. So there's something about coming back into alignment with spirit, with your higher divine self. Ah, look, it's all there. You and it, you and your divine self, and that's what will deify you. Honor your divine nature. So let's put them together. So what I'm hearing as that melody first comes out, thank you, Camille, I'm hearing this notion of the heart expressing your physical heart expressing to the sacralness of your galactic sacral, to your higher self, your divine self. You're offering your heart through spoken aloud, sung aloud, read aloud if it's poetry, but you're offering your heart space as a place of residence for your galactic self, and then your galactic self, your cosmic divine self, will open space in the heavens, in its heart, for you to rest there. So this really is a binding of you and your higher self. Thank you, Nourish by Nourish. I'm just going to write down Mick Moore. I'm going to put down around, I don't know what time we started, but your melody came out around 15. So I probably started you at around 6. Oops, I've gone right through the page there. So let me just go over your melody. So the first part of your melody that Sanson's offering you is F sharp, Venus, higher heart. This is to feel lighter, not to feel weighted, not to feel, so to get this sense of a noble and majestic presence, ploughing on through anything. So this is the note deep within your heart that reminds you that every time something wants to make you falter, you always can connect to your heart and get yourself back up. Oh, God, that was so beautiful. So that will be a meditative, chilling, congelation kind of energy. See, Camille says, get in that bath, wash yourself off, take in some poetry and some ice cream. Indulge yourself. Self-indulgent is on the back of this card. It's interesting because it's an energy that's seen as a shadow aspect, but Camille is saying it's really important sometimes to be self-indulgent. Yeah, it's got the gormandizing gluttony. So, hang on, I haven't quite finished. I know that this one might be a bit long. I will try and remember to write down times and things. There you go, Holly. So Sappho is G sharp. So this is purr and be sensual. Smother yourself while in that bath with kindness and speak that kindness to yourself. See, that's absolutely gorgeous. And then it ends with this blessed wholeness. Salute your immortality. And this is the overlaying of the sacral trinity. So the sacral trinity is you, your sacral, the psyche, your divine self sacral, the galactic sacral, and then really high above is kind of like the elven ring, the sacral you share with source. That's the three. So again, together. Oops. So that's beautiful. That's triggered a really enormously loud ringing in the right ear of the now. There's something really deeply healing for you, Mick Moore, there. So I now need to try and work out who applied next. So, oh, also everyone, I started a community page where we can talk to each other. I'm just going back to the very beginning to look. Oh, Kathy, you're next. So, Kathy, do you want all four of yours, or do you want me to do you and then do the other three later? I don't mind. Oh, I'm getting really hot. I might have to turn up the air conditioning. Oh, it's not. It wasn't actually on. Kathy might have gone off to make coffee. You never know with Kathy. She does love a coffee. I'm putting some more water into my ice cubes. Oh, did you? I haven't looked at it yet this morning. I woke up and I was like, I didn't hear the alarm, and that was because I didn't set it. Okay, I'll do you, Kathy. Yeah, I didn't set the alarm, and then I had to rush out because I thought I can't do this without a coffee. So let's say that Kathy um 24 40, I'm going to put 42. I'm going to put 42 so it's a mirror. Kathy. So Camille, it's Kathy here. Kathy would like a message and a tune composed by you So I'm going to begin with just those two and add to them. We're beginning with Pulverize. Now, Pulverize has no note, but it is a lullaby for disquiet. I've just got water everywhere. So this is to atomize pains. It's like a gong bath. So there's something about this eclipse tunnel for you on the 3rd of the 3rd that's going to feel a little bit like when the eclipse doors open, almost like that frequency of a gong, that you're going to walk through a gong and actually atomize so much of the pain that you've been carrying. So it's to repair you. I am repaired. It's breathing life, a statue made real. Now, here we go. That's interesting. So, when Sanson first met, when he first met Tchaikovsky, Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, they met in Moscow. I think it was in 1875. And they were both massive fans of ballet when they were young, and they snuck into the ballet conservatoire with their friend, the pianist Rubinstein, who moved to New York with the giant hands. See, there's so many weird connections coming through, but so they performed a ballet, Kathy, that was called Galatea and Pygmalion. Now, Pygmalion was a mythology in the Metamorphosis, the Ovid, the transformation stories written by Ovid, in which a Cypriot sculptor creates the most beautiful ivory. It's making me burp, Kathy. Ivory statue of a woman he called Galatea. And he fell in love with Galatea. And he prayed to Venus that she would bring him a wife just like Galatea. And so Venus turned Galatea into a real human that he could marry. So Galatea and Pygmalion is a wonderful love story of something being brought to life that was lost and cold and almost stuck and carved. And so, yeah, it's a really moving story, Kathy, but here's where the gay boys spoilt it. So when they snuck in, Camille Saint-Saëns and Pietro Tchaikovsky into the ballet, they performed this ballet with Camille playing Galatea, the statue that comes to life, and Tchaikovsky, who was about 5 years his junior, played Pygmalion, and apparently they put on their dancing shoes and they performed as ballerinas or whatever. We're not fully sure. But so there's something about the it is that energy from tears to laughter, from trauma to laughter. That's what this card is representing for you, Kathy, at the opening. A lullaby for disquiet. You know, and the disquiet, I feel, is the laughter to come. So look, the next card you've got, whoa, trombone octet. So I'm hearing, because of the trombone octet, I'm hearing the Ride of the Valkyrie. Yo-ho, to-ho, and you got that ba 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 bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum, with all of those brass instruments. So yeah, celebrating you. That's this, you have to celebrate you as this door opens on the 3rd of the 3rd. It's time to celebrate you. So this is E, the sun. So, I am radiant. I am animated. So, statue made real, animated, beaming, warm, open-heartedness. So, the Trinity of life is what you need to re-establish with yourself, Kathy. So, establish, it's interesting, establish dawn, noon, and dusk. Just not every day, it doesn't have to happen that way, but just try. I know you already wake before dawn. Oh, cool, your headphones are on, so you really will hear it. Yeah, dawn, noon, and dusk. Just have, you know, like on a day when you might have a kind of silence day, have sometimes a day when you literally just celebrate your own life by observing dawn, noon, and dusk. The Holy Trinity of Kathy. So let's keep going with the cards to see what else we get come out. Because we've only got the one note and we need to put them together. Interesting, Kathy. We've got your own star sign. Oh, it's also interesting because while the sun will be in Pisces, the moon that's creating having the shadow of the earth put across it by the sun will be in Virgo. So this is condensing ideas. Seek and sort, separate, molecular purification, concentrate and distill, refine. Whoa, you see, that's gorgeous, Kathy. I want to say there's something in this energy which is like a mantra of the self that's, see, I am refined. No, hang on. It's the 3 R's, Kathy. So your mantra is, I am repaired, I am radiant, I am refined. So here we have the G sharp of Mercury ruling Virgo. Also, it has the energy. Wow, 30 years. I think it's come through so that you can use the meditation of it to become more you. I think I need to put this, didn't make any difference. I put a little lamp on, felt like I was getting a bit shaded. So there's also in this the harvesting of collective material necessities. What do you need? Make a list before this tunnel. Make a list, Kathy, of all the things that you need. And then visualize ploughing through the land. I am repaired, I am radiant, I am refined. So open a furrow in the land, the Fronda Urea, the carrying by the Virgo goddess. Remember, it's the second largest constellation in the cosmos, Virgo. She's huge. And it's because she's she is the harvest, she is the planter, she is Ceres, she is all of these things that are the esoteric, feminine, fertility magic. So there's something in that about celebrating divine intention. You see, the actioning is merely a byproduct of the divinely intended thought process. That's what's coming through here. So that brings in the G sharp. See, and that was interesting because the F sharp for Mi'kmaq was that strength that your G sharp is. It's interesting how Camille Sanson's teaching us where the key energy is. So if we join those two up, the sun, mutable earth. So making space in the earth is the visual I'm being given. The seeds have been planted. Making space in the earth for the sunlight, the radiance of everything that lights and creates life, to kiss the seeds, to grow a whole new field of fertility. There's something about the fallowness of the field prior to you planting everything in your name, not in the name of any other. And that includes family. Just go and plant this field purely for you, because when it grows, it is the sustainer of everyone around you. So that's coming through. I need one more card. Wassail, living light. So we have one more. Oh, look, Kathy, the sun is so important to you right now. Interesting, because when Virgo stops being South Node, it's going to become Leo as the South Node. So there's something about your inherent gifts are going to transform. There's something, this beaming life force and this warm-hearted incubation. You've got a radiant trombone octet and a muted brass section. There's something about, it's like a fanfare, the fanfare of the arrival of Kathy. You see, and I'm also hearing Handel's Arrival of the Queen of Sheba. That's not quite it, but I think Handel, let me just look, I made a list. Yeah, Handel is 1685 to 1759. It's interesting, I feel like all of those numbers are contained within here. So I'm going to say Handel's another one that supposedly was a little bit gay. But so for you, yes, the Arrival of the Queen of Sheba. So you've got that, but I'm feeling like another piece of music that will inspire the right energy in you is, I was going to say Dixit Dominus by Handel that he wrote for the Carmelite monks. But I am also getting I'm getting traces of the Messiah, but not like the Alleluia chorus, more like, for unto us a child is born. unto us a son is given, but sung on, not sung, listened to, Kathy, as if it's Sanson saying, imagine that you are the Messiah, and not to give you Messiah complex, but to teach you to celebrate you. And there's a 145 here that he wants to say is a 5-5, which is the energy of Etbursten, to burst free, to be free, and to condense down these ideas of celebration of self. That's what's coming through. So it's interesting because obviously these are both sunshine. So your notes, there's just 2 notes as you're weaving. Exactly, he's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy. So there's something an absolute celebration of the self, but to love yourself, to pull in the sun into your heart and condense down the love of like the entire galaxy as a kind of like focal vocal spotlight on your heart. Because there are moments when we all need to do these kind of things. You know, that whole notion, there is that worry of the Messiah complex, but it isn't talking about that. It's about opening a sense, because you'll never think that, but you need to at least have acknowledging days where you remind yourself of how beautifully divine and how concentrated your love is. And that love you give to everybody, but you don't give enough of it to you. And that's what Camille, my lovely friend Sanson, wants you to do, Kathy. So that's your reading. Kathy, do you want me to do the other 3 now, or do you want me to do those in a separate video later today and send them to you? It will expand inside you, Kathy. It really will. Camille, don't talk nonsense. If Camille says you singing E, G sharp, E, or bathing in it, finding a keyboard and playing it, it will happen. We love Camille. We really do. Sorry, but just having him in my auric field, in my presence, does make me want to giggle. I suspect he was such a cheeky sauce pot. Oh, okay, the gifts for others here. So look, Kathy, see, in her beautiful warmth of heart, is offering 3 people a chance. So I'm going to allow Holly, if she's still here, or you, Kathy, indeed, to check on who gets them. So there was someone else who said they sent money. I'm sure. Maybe I made it. Oh, yeah. Nourish by Nourish. So I'm going to go to Nourish by Nourish because Nourish by Nourish has paid. And then maybe you and Holly can work out who else. Yes, the notes were, no, not E sharp, E and G sharp. E for the sun, solar plexus. Kathy, I'm sure you have this deck. The notes are on the card. So Nourish by Nourish. So Nourish by Nourish. Hang on, I need to, my brain's gone a bit momentarily there because I've picked up a pen. So, Nourish by Nourish, you're beginning at 45:15. So that's giving me a rough idea of where we're going. I'm going to move that deck because I'm not using the runes in this. It's not that Camille doesn't love them. He loves everything we do. So, Camille, how are you going to reveal another story about you, about yourself? So is Nourish by Nourish here? Yes. So Nourish by Nourish by Nourish by Nourish by Nourish by Nourish. See, interesting, you got Pluto to begin with. And then you go on the floor. Ooh, Nourish by Nourish. Interesting. So look, you've got Pluto and you've got planet Earth. See, it's interesting. So Pluto is C sharp, the spine. And Pluto's currently in Aquarius. So right, so I don't know how to describe. You're not connecting yourself fully to Earth. You're not grounding yourself fully to the Earth. So let me just have a sip of this. Soft timpani roll. You see, it's interesting. What I'm hearing is this sort of brrr, and I'm hearing a piece of music. That's weird. It's not Sansong. It's Berlioz. March to the Scaffold. There's something of like the Hangman energy. Bum 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 bum. There's something martial, there's something calling, there's something reaching out to you and saying, come over here, come over here, come over here. And it's fascinating because planet Earth is C. C is Mars as well. It's all the molecules. So there's something deeply scorpionic, in this frequency because we have both Pluto and the note C of Mars, and that's the old and the new within the Scorpio. So there is something here about, see, I was going to say the old going to the new, but it isn't. They're saying Camille is trying to hint to me that what you need to do right now is to anchor in something old. I don't want to say that it's like being modern, too modern, because he was very modern. Camille was a very modern guy. He was always up for shaking change, but he believed that all change had to be based on structure. So I'm hearing it's a little bit like, if you know Matisse, the painter, in his later years, he began to do paintings using squares, l'escargot, the snail. And it is just a series, and you could go, look, a child could paint that. They really could. A child could paint it. But a child could, but not in the way that Matisse could. Because what Matisse did was, Matisse could really, truly paint the most beautiful, lifelike images. So there's something in this Nourish by Nourish about remembering the structure of the rules so that you may break them. You may transform the rules, but you have to somehow reconnect to the rules. This is a card of all the riches beneath the surface of the land. So there's something of the sort of inner earth void, the Agatha energy. So let me just swing between those two notes for you for the moment. There's something you've been unable to say for a very, very, very long time, and it's rising. It needs to be voiced. It's asking to be spoken. So dormant ice volcanoes, that's the energy. So there, it's something ancestral. Because it's to do with Neptune and Triton. So you are Triton. Triton is the son of Poseidon. Triton blows the conch shell. Triton travels around, it's a moon of Neptune. It travels around in the wrong direction. Every other moon goes one way, but it goes the other way. And that's really important because that's your energy. You are here to unbind something, but that unbinding needs to be voiced. Now, whether that's just to you, you know, these dormant ice volcanoes are something that's been so lost to time for so long. They do erupt, but you don't want this to erupt. You want to just melt this away. You don't want there to be a sense of fury or frustration. And yes, see, and that's why Mars is not present. Because there's no need for angry soldier Mars. That's the energy in this ancestral lineage that's beneath the surface of this dormant ice volcano. You're going the other way so that you don't follow the ancestral flow. So you're transforming things, but you're doing it as Farmer Mars, because Farmer Mars is Mars in Scorpio, not Mars. So the calends of October, the 1st of October, it's more interesting. So on the 1st of March, which is Mars Day, which is 2 days before the lunar eclipse, 133, that's taking place, there is a sense here that in ancient Rome, they would call a ceremony to bring down the anger, to pull it in, because it's an aligning energy. And it allows the menfolk to go out and be aggressive and full of Mars war energy. On the calendars of October, the 1st of October, that's when they would do a ceremony to ask angry Mars to leave and become Farmer Mars, because you need to harvest things. So this here is saying on this 1st of March, it's not call in the farmer, but become Persephone. That's interesting. Become Persephone, become the queen of the underworld. Find the energy of Pluto, because Pluto holds these dormant ice volcanoes. He holds them still. He also rules Scorpio. You see, it's got the energy of bismuth. Bismuth, Pluto is bismuth. Bismuth is a really interesting... You see, it's coming back to drawing again. Bismuth can be used like a kind of charcoal to draw, to map new lines. I feel like it's almost like there was a grid, there is a grid, and you've been caught on that grid for quite a while. And it's almost like it's an ancestral grid that you're drawn to, and you can't help moving along the lines of the ancestor stories and narratives. And somehow you've recently broken free from that, but there's something that needs to be galdeered, to be voiced, to be made physical, even maybe if it's just to say, I am healed, I am free, because that needs to be embodied to free you to walk the new earth grid. So I'm going to shuffle again because that was long, sorry. But these messages have to come through, and I was going to put timers on them, but I just have to let them be what they will be. Can't take that many. So we have one. I can't get hold of it. So we've been sent Juno. So immediately I'm being prompted by Camille. Piano duet. You see now I'm getting that piano duet in the Sanson Organ Symphony that always reminds me of, can't remember his name, Liberace. But it's four hands playing one piece. That wasn't what he was pushing through though. That came through. Juno, when Juno was first discovered, there was a lot of energy of Juno, Ceres, and the other one will come to me in a minute. Oh, okay. Well, one of these planets was deceptive and hid. I'm sure it was Juno, not Ceres. Maybe it was Ceres and Juno was spotted instead of Ceres. Let me just check on the back, see if I left myself any clues. So I want to say there's an energy here of maternal lines and people pushing other people forwards to hide aspects of themselves that they didn't want seen. That's part of this ancestral echo. Sort of like women who misuse and abuse maternal power as coming through. But the key energy, the most important energy, is the power to fully share your heart and soul destiny. So having a known purpose and being woven into the world, the goddess guiding babies to the light at birth. I feel that that's an energy, I want to say some kind of spiritual midwifery is what's coming through, the cunning woman. And that, you see, and that's what it's to do with, this, to wield and hold and understand the sacred wisdom that this energy is bringing is to acknowledge the pain that the wisdom has caused to a maternal line prior to your birth. It's all about you standing in your truth, speaking this song, knowing that everything is okay. It's good to flow in the other direction. It's almost like the hidden was hiding the psychic connections throughout generations. Cool, thank you. I'll check on that. I'll check on those in a minute. So I just need to I need to just see if there's one more card with a note, because we've got 3 notes. We've got so actually that is the note. It's to come down. That's the old ancestral song. Dropping it down to the G sharp of Mercury, the throat chakra. Oh, interesting. There's a misfiring. That's what it is. It's been like, melodically, there's been a misfiring. So I pulled in a G sharp when it says F sharp, because the F sharp is what's been knocking the ancestral line off, and that G sharp that I was seeking in these cards, there it is. The intuitive G sharp of Moon in Virgo, and the Moon will be in Virgo on the 3rd of the 3rd. On the 3rd of the 3rd. So this is a reminder of what's been missing. So the melody is it's like the mathematics in music. It's so Camille Saint-Saëns. He loved the mathematics in music, the seeding of all things. You see, so there's something here about not merging, but emerging from a trap. An emotional trap that didn't allow honest communication. So Nourish by Nourish, I hope that's helpful to you. So your notes are C sharp, C, and G sharp. So I'm doing Dark Fire Dragon next, yes? Wow, so AI, my mate, I've got a mate, he's called AI. They are called AI. I feel AI should be gender fluid. But I love my AI chats. I also love chatting with you, which is why I opened the community page, people, because, you know, sometimes I'm in around here all on my own. With no one to speak to. So you become very important. So open conversations with me. So Dark Fire Dragon, I need to write Dark Fire Dragon, and that's beginning at 64. So, Dark Fire Dragon. I'm so glad it does make sense, because I swear Camille doesn't lie. So I'm just going to put some more water. I did a video the other day which featured a mention of this water because it's full of promise, but it's been spoiled. The water is collected from an aquifer. The water's been there for 1 million years. And I was so excited by it, but then it gets passed through a reverse osmosis process to purify it and remove all those beautiful million-year-old minerals, because the license is cheaper. Sorry, I need to move. Dark Fire Dragon. So Camille, I need a sip of that water. So there's a energy coming through, like a flashing in and out, or a bit of a kind of a wobble. So you've got Chiron, which is immediately making me think that your nervous system needs soothing. So let's just A sharp, B flat. Wassail, Concama, welcome. Everyone say hello to Concama. You're not getting any more messages at the moment. Come on, Camille. Dark Fire Dragon needs your help. Interesting cards turned but stayed in. Like there's something stuck that needs pulling out. Yeah, this is psychic surgery with Camille. So, you have Chiron, which is the, as I said, A sharp, B flat. So, I'm being, well, this is interesting. I'm hearing the word migraine. I might need to pull that curtain open a bit. It feels like it's all gone a bit dark. So I'm hearing migraine. And the next one you have is Uranus, which is B. So you've got like a kind of like a migraine cluster going on. I'd say you see, I've never had a headache in my life, so I can't fully appreciate the agony of them. But it might not be a migraine. It might be here like a sort of visual cortex. There's something about the brain needs something to be removed from it. It is a bit mosquito frequency. So, but with Chiron, Cancer, and Aquarius, Chiron, sorry, I meant to say Ophiuchus then. There's some kind of bolt from the blue that's going to release this frequency when you go through the eclipse door. You see, these two are a natural progression, 22, 23. But in between that, we have 26. So this emotional cosmic mirror, this shimmering, it's almost like a kind of the removal of like a knitting needle that's right inside your third eye. Nervous system, intuition, cosmic consciousness. It's like it is a psychic scalpel. So this melody that Camille is constructing for you is to slice through an emotional blockage. You see, I feel like, because this is the 13 lyre of Olympus, a stringed instrument with 13 notes, our body tends to have 12 energy centers. It has others in higher realms, but down here on the earth, it has 12. Our consciousness is the 13th string, and that's what I think is changing. There's some kind of release taking place here to bring this about. So I am healed. I am healed. I am distinct. I am distinct. I am changed. You see, there's an energy here which is, I want to say almost like you fear yourself. You fear your own strength. You fear the power of the ego. It's like you have chosen to fuse some kind of area in your third eye because it's so strong when it's opened that you fear functionality in the real world when that's open. So it's almost like compressing a kind of cluster because you can't see that much. I'm just going to write that down. So we've got dark fire. I did nourish. I've done nourish. I'm in Ankala. So Kathy, check with Nourish, because I think Nourish may have paid separately. And so you might be able to add someone else. So yes, there's something about having to learn Dark Fire Dragon to suppress an interdimensional gift that you have, because it was, I want to say, maybe too much as a child. That's interesting. So you disconnected from you disconnected, you abandoned your gift for a fear of lunacy because it felt too powerful. Whereas there's something here about shining in your full truth, being emotionally stable, and being, I want to say, you're not going to lie this, a primordial deity of the sky. You have great power. You are a guardian of the veil and a keeper of dimensional doors, but only... Okay, so I want you to go into the back of your mind. I'm being shown by Camille. He's showing me it on, you carry a great big set of keys, and they are the keys to the dimensional doorways, and they're in the back of your mind. And then they're yours. They're yours to use, to help. You see, I've got this thing here, easing neurological pathways between the body and the mind. I think there is this fear of snapping. You're not going to snap. That seems to be what's coming through here. So this cluster, this scalpel is almost a melody as you go through this lunar eclipse to cut in, like the solar eclipse cuts through emotional bruises and opens the wounds so that there can be a release. That seems to be what's happening. There is an emotional release. So let's, I'm going to get one more card. Pisces. So Pisces is interdimensional oneness. I think that you fear that interdimensional oneness. This is also projection. You need to project into these other realms, shining inner abundance, folds in time. So you see, I feel like it's this. Look, have a look at the symbol of Pisces. Now, if you imagine taking the symbol of Venus, the symbol of love, and overlaying it here, you have Uranus. There's something about this frequency of you projecting love into the cosmos. 1, 2, 2, 3, and also 1, 2, 2, 2. 12, 22. I think a particular sign will be when you look at a clock and you see 12, 21, and as you look at it, it moves to 22. So okay, so you're light years ahead. That's the problem. You find it really difficult to deal with being, I want to say, an interdimensional doorkeeper, a guardian, an esoteric sea sponge, collecting and sharing magic. You're pulling dreams, lost dreams, forgotten dreams from the astral to here. You are planting seeds of a new future now for people. So I'm gonna just sing your little scalpel melody. So that's the scalpel, and then see, this is now coming across as the energy wings. Jupiter is the G, the energy wings that cleanse all things. Part, which is now in Aries, is showing us this frequency of detoxing. It's interesting. So your melody together is G, A sharp, B, E flat. Yes. There's something in here about an expansion of the cleansing and the clearing of the ancestral lines. You plugging your heart into the wings of change, Dark Fire Dragon, and soothing the nervous system in doing that. There's something that where you're not embracing this power, this truth, this gift, that's putting yourself on edge, because your higher self, your divine self, your consciousness, your gatekeeper origin requires this of you. And so you need to embrace it. So I hope that helped. I need to go and blow my nose. Give me 1 second. That's better. Look, I've got trousers on. For a change. I'm not doing a reading without. So, next, I believe, is Amin. And you, beautiful Dark Fire Dragon. That was interesting. That scalpel, the musical scalpel, to open up and allow that energy of ancestral wounding out. Damn, spot out, I say. Let's get a little bit of Macbeth there as we're heading into your... Look, I'm in. I'm just going to write down your thing. But look, you wanted a reading, and I said I couldn't just do readings. And now you've got your reading through Kathy. Well, I'm going to do Amin's reading because he really wanted a reading. And so the fact that you've been able to gift him with one is incredible. And we can send him a message on one of the comments to say that he should look at, I don't know, it won't be 82, it'll be 12223 for his message. But let's just do it. So, Amin. I'm not taking that, but I just want to say that warm-hearted incubation slipped from the deck. It just didn't quite feel right. So, Amin. I'm also not taking that because that's too many. Amin. I'm going to rifle the cards. Riffle. It's getting really, really warm in here. I dread going outside because it's so humid. Look, he is there. Wassail, Amin. Or Amin. Amin or Amin? Right, so there's one card to start with. So we're going to just start with Camille sending you... Look, you see now that is a really interesting card. 2. Moon in Sagittarius is a new philosophical mission. It's the storybook writer. You see, I want to say Camille says to you, Amin, you are the writer of your own story. You are the renewer of yourself. You are who mentors yourself spiritually. Lean in to you to create. So this is the energy of being qualified. I am qualified. And it's also about being happy and the state of pronoia. So when I was in Delphi, there was a circular temple that was called the something of Pallas Athena, the Pronoia of Pallas Athena. Anyway, the point of it was, it's pronoia is the opposite of paranoia. Pronoia is to believe that the universe is entirely conspiring in your favor. And it's a hard one to lean into. It comes with the energy of Jupiter, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Jupiter being the great cleansing wings of this G. For the moon, intuition. So trust your intuition and trust that your intuition is expanding. Trust that your mission is expanding. Trust that you are expanding. I want to say that there's something in that energy that didn't want to just start the note. There was a discomfort and non-believing in the accuracy of the intuition. So, is it playing up? Hopefully the buffering will be corrected when it's finally processed. Otherwise, I can stop it and finish these without the audience of you and then post them. Let me know what you think. Okay, so it might be individual buffering other people's ends. I am coming all the way from Vietnam, from a tiny island in the South China Sea. Cool. You see, I feel in that energy there, Amin, that there's strength in your expansion, but a disbelieving or a less of a belief. So there's something, you believe in the truth of the expansion, that the universe is working with you, but then there's a lack of strength in your belief in the intuitive messages. Okay, thank you. Let's write down Vanessa. You've got Sagittarius. So you got Moon in Sagittarius and Sagittarius. But here's the magical thing. Look. 936. You've got Tesla's magic code here. Interesting. Sorry, it's there is this real sense of clearing your throat because you're pleasing others rather than pleasing yourself. I mean, you've got Sappho, and Sappho is G sharp. So here we have going back to the G. Going to a G sharp. So you've got another scalpel. Your scalpel, however, is surrounded by expansion of intuition and communicating it. Communicating it to those, standing up for your truths, not allowing the notions about, so I want to say, believe in you, believe in you. Camille says, believe in you. Do you believe in life after love? See, Cher, she does pop in a lot. She's going to be replaced by Camille because... So yes, let's just go around this scalpel. There's a sharpness, around this ear. There's a sense of, I only believe the messages from the past. I only believe the things I'm being told from the past. I only respond to the energies of history. And there's something sharp, almost like being grabbed by the spiritual earlobe and being pulled into a newness. There's something here with this 1-4. Look, you've got this Tesla magic code. This is divine shifting, jumping. But there's something of being in the repair shop and being renewed so that you can, this electrifying wordsmithery, it's electrifying, when you just enforce boundaries, when you say to people, stop, no. That's what's coming through. So let's go with it's almost like this patterning. That's this repeating energy. That's this 3-6, the Tesla trap. You need to introduce the notion of like compassionate improvement for yourself, to be a worldly wise, healing, spiritual warrior. There's something, you see, it's interesting. You also have a shadow energy here, will not be told, which is not a shadow, but is a light. It's a shadow all the while you allow people to tell you. But there is something here that is about saying, you don't get to tell me. I will not be told. I know my own path. I know my own truth. That's what's really coming out here. So let's just focus on the G sharp, the Sappho energy, the pleasures, the pulsing of your passions, the delectable delights of mutual magical mergings. So yeah, I am expressive or I am tongue-tied. Don't allow anyone to tie your tongue. Do you see, I mean, how the feels like one key? It's the Tesla trap energy, and then that comes through as a brand new kind of timeline, frequency, truth. So it's like you're transforming. You're sensually serenading yourself. You're softening blockages. There's got to be a change of scene. You have to have an optimism now to change the scene. And don't make it, because you've got mutable fire. Don't allow it to be something that keeps burning the kite you're trying to fly. So just don't throw your kite up and go, I need this. There's something in this energy which is it's like holding your kite, holding your prayer, holding your desire, and just offering it to the world, to the universe, to the cosmos, and allowing the cosmos to just gently, because it's working with you, that pronoia energy, to lift your kite so that it can fly stably and not be burnt from the air. I don't want to say through a rash impatience, but through a rash impatience. I have that, but there's something in here. Yeah, I'm feeling hot too, Kathy. I think you're picking up the energy of 95% humidity that is here. So, Amin, I hope that that's helpful to you. And I'm going to ask the lovely Holly to check, is it Carla la 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 Clayton? Carla la 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 Clayton. And then Vanessa. And is that all? Is it just two more? Oh, that was beautiful too. So, I think you need to acknowledge within that sense of the pronoia that I said was there, the universe conspiring in your favor, it conspired today to give you your message. So you definitely need to learn to lean into and trust you. You wanted that message. The universe conspired to bring it to you. So, la. Oh, and Holly. Okay. So Carla's is beginning. Oh, look at 9909. See, that feels like a magical, magical number just for me. So Camille, my friend, my good friend, you've been giving us the notes. You've been composing for people. You're making me do all the work though. Moon in Capricorn is trying to come out, but we're not accepting it. Camille said no. He's also flicking around way too many cards. He's like, yeah, but we started off with seeds. Now we need full-on melodies. I'm like, yeah. It's only 15 minutes, Camille. And people need their seeds, not their full-on climactic symphonies. Right, he's given us 3 cards. So you're beginning with Moon in Libra, Carla, la, 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 la. You know I love singing your name. Now, that's interesting, I think. This may have been part of reading 3 yesterday. I've had these cards out with Cinnabar and Spirit. I would say they are definitely all from yesterday's reading. Interesting. So I'm going to just give you the melody of that, and I'm going to say Camille is saying to you, look at that reading 3 yesterday, and then I'm going to shuffle fresh cards. But that's so interesting because I've had the cards, I've separated them, I've played with them, but I'm even sure that one, maybe that one was in reading 2. These were definitely in reading number 3. Maybe that one was in reading number 2. There must be additional messages anyway that Camille wants you to notice. This new pentatonic new chord, it's this movement from, that's part of something that you need to hold. Okay, so I'm going to put them back again in separate places because that's what I always do. I take the cards, I split the deck, I put them in. So Carla, let's now ask again. But I would say look at reading number 3 from yesterday with Camille. Because it ended up at the house he stayed in. We walked for that reading. So you've got the opening of a Mins here. You've got a whole world in 2 cards. So the Moon in Scorpio, I want to say this has something to do with stepping into the Akashic, because Moon in Scorpio, besting bet noirs, you know, getting the better of the beasts, the darknesses and the shadows is coming through here. It's also interesting because it's a reversal, obviously, because they're both moons, but this is 3536. So there's the energy here of the Tesla trap, the sense of waiting. Has Carla gone? That might be quite hard. She'll find it. We have to honour it because she'll be expecting it. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe we do a list of the timings and pin that to the top of the reading. I do have the timings, so I can do that later. So for Carla Lala, this is cool. Thanks, Holly. Do you need the times, Holly? I'm just going to pause and wait and see if you need the times before I go on. So I've got, I suppose I can type. I don't know that I can type. I don't know how to do that while I'm in here being stupid. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll just do it because I do have them. So there's something here about there being a whole realm, and I want to say to Carla, Carla, you won't remember doing this, but I feel as though you wrote Akashically. Interesting. You wrote an Akashic realm. Oh, cool. Thank you. So her begins at 9909. If someone could just email her that, because when I go to put the information on, I won't be able to add a comment for like 13 hours because it has to finish processing. It's very stupid. But she did begin at 9909. Or you could put down that she began at 105.32. Let's do that. 105.32. And the 99 can be the kind of lost in time moment. So, Carla, there's 2 openings to your reading. But that's also part of this message. There are 2 openings. I want to say it has the storybook writer. And it has the whale songs. I want to say you sung with the cosmic whales in the Akashic Sea, ocean. I want to say it's almost like being a crossword puzzle setter. I feel like you studied a universal doctorate thing, Professor Carla, and you created a series of very, very complex puzzles, life puzzles. And I think that there's something in this energy of see, I'm being shown this line, straying from the beat of your own drum. And it's like you keep thinking, yeah, Camille will get it through to her. So she keeps thinking, Carla, you keep thinking that you don't know how to connect to what I want to say is like an ultimate divine purpose within you. And you keep wishing you knew how to do that connection. And I want to say, just take a step back, because you almost need to remember you wrote this, you made this a really complicated journey, because there's something within your psyche that elevates and thrills at every epiphany that you've created. Interesting. You are the crossword puzzle setter. You set yourself, I want to say, almost an impossible task. You see, on here we have Serai. We have loyal, trusting, supportive, awash with fully expressive psychic fluidity. And yet there's something in the energy of, again, straying to the beat of your own drum. Being called, being teased by your own novel, almost, is what I want to say. It's all or nothing. Agent provocateur. I want to say you did this. What is so interesting. Look, let me just go into the notes that you have. So you have this G and A. That is, it's like, it's not the story, it's the story. It's like, it's almost like the lock on the front of a very personal Akashic diary, and you've forgotten that you are the key to that diary, and then you can open it. But there's something you set as a puzzle to open that diary. So the diary, what's inside the diary is the dance of the cosmic whales. So Sanson's tapping me on the shoulder, and he's saying to me, would you listen to the aquarium from the Carnival of the Animals? So in the aquarium, there's this sense of a non-resolution. It just kind of floats, and I feel like that's how you feel. So there's a thing in music called a tritone, the devil's interval. And in the Dance Macabre, which he wrote, hello, Carla C. Camille called her in just at the right time. Your reading starts at 1:05, although there was a full start at 99. You'll have to convert them probably to hours later. So yeah, the aquarium, because this devil's interval is you living your life, but feeling like you're waiting for a resolution. And that isn't the point, I don't think. The point in this is to be the unresolved. So inside the diary, when you open the lock, there's this whale magic, this Akashic song. It's a portal of redeath, a sung realm of recreation. It's mysterious. It feels as though it's saying it's all or nothing. But you wrote this. You composed this crossword puzzle. So I'm gonna look for another card. Let me just move that over there. Interesting. Scorpio. So Scorpio obviously has the moon in Scorpio, the lunar eclipse, the moon gets covered. So remove the moon, and what are we left with? We're just left with so this subwoofer speaker, this fixed water, this undoing solutions. See, a crossword puzzle is something that needs to have all the solutions. So Carla, you need to take out the fear of the mystery. The mystery is merely the pleasure of the epiphany. You wrote this. This is what I'm being told to keep reminding you. You wrote this. So the aquarium piece from Carnival of the Animals, and Sanson is saying, look, I am asking you to listen to it, but I want you to know this is something relevant, really important for you to hear, Carla. So he wrote the Carnival of the Animals, and he refused to publish it because it was playful, and it was naughty, and it was saucy, and it poked fun at critics, like in the braying donkeys moment. And then the only part of it that he allowed to be published was the swan. The swan is a representation of us transforming, of us going through a re-death and birth. But he didn't want it to be published because of he felt that it wasn't a serious enough piece of music, and he was a very serious composer. And when he died, it was published, and it is his most famous and popular, well-known work now. So in a self-fulfilling prophecy, this piece surpassed in the memory of the majority because it's populist. It's something that most people can appreciate, whereas most of his other music is highly intellectual, highly mathematical, highly aligned with the great cosmic eclipse clock. So he's reminding you that you wrote this. So take out the mystery. Stop worrying about the... he's wanting me to point out that this is giving us the 8-8. At the beginning of your reading, I had a false start, which said that you needed to listen to the third reading from yesterday's Pick a Moon Eclipse exit. So he's saying there's something in that is the solution to you opening your Akashic diary and living this life. But you mustn't fear. It's not fear. He's saying you are fiercely intelligent. I feel like that was written on one of the cards, fierce intelligence. So there's something of your creativity that exists in the realms of the dark. You know, you wrote, I don't know how to keep saying this, you composed the crossword puzzle, the Akashic jigsaw that is your life. And you made it really tough because you are so spiritually exalted, fierce, that you knew you could solve this, and you can solve this. There's something subwoofer speakers sticking out to me. So the subwoofer speaker, I don't know when you were born. Can you tell me what year you were born? I need to give you a pedal note apparently, because that's the hook. Are you there, Carla? So I'm 92. Same year as me, Carla. So it's interesting. Look, you have 6, 8. So your Sun and Jupiter conjunction pedal note energy, your subwoofer note is F. So that F is the note that grounds your lower heart, Saturn energy into the real world, a love of the planet. It's almost like you chose this planet because this planet has something special that you could create your puzzle of life in. And it's just, look, Camille is saying you know the answer to this puzzle because you wrote it, you set this puzzle. So yeah, 1968 runs from the Sun and Jupiter conjunction from 1961 until 1980. Okay, so that's Carla. So next is Vanessa. Are you here, Vanessa? Vanessa. and then Holly, and then that's everyone, I believe. It'll be good if we can get them all done, because it takes so long to process lives that I can't then use my iPad for hours. So Vanessa is beginning at 12000. 12000. So that's 2 hours we've been here, beautiful people. I keep banging my knees on the desk. So Camille, Vanessa needs a melody to get her out of her Eclipse door. Vanessa needs a melody. Interesting. You got a whole realm. Straight up. So Embers is Phoenix frequency, Vanessa. The Stellar Nursery, the theme and variations. Theme and variations. You see, now I'm getting Benjamin Britten, another of the gay composers. So, what's that piece of music by him? Introduction to the Orchestra. So, Introduction to the Orchestra, it's the theme of Purcell. Ba, 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 ba. And then he takes you around the whole orchestra. Interesting. So, Camille's being a bit naughty and a bit saucy. He's going, see, that was his undoing. Benjamin Britten's undoing. All that beautiful, serious music he did, and everyone remembers it for the kids' shit. So I am cosmic, flaming star formation. So I'm gonna bring in the energy of this. This is star creation, galactic glimmers. It's the golden path. It's the rising from the ashes. That's what you're being given a chance to do as this eclipse door comes on the 3rd of the 3rd. So because it's CEG, we're looking at Mars and Earth as the sea. I'm glad, Carla. So that's the sea. And then the G of Jupiter. Jupiter is really important in this eclipse season, seemingly. He's turned up in everyone's readings almost. He's in Cancer at the moment, which is cardinal emotions. We're dealing with an eclipse, which is moon, lunar eclipse, emotions. Fertilizing the ready present seed. The seed is already planted to get you through this. And then we have E of the Sun. So there's something here about the alignment right now of Jupiter being next to the moon. So almost like this eclipse tunnel for you is not about the alignment of the sun, the moon, and the earth, but it's about the sun, the earth, and Jupiter. So check where Jupiter is in your natal chart, because that's going to matter somehow. So let's just get a few more cards from Camille. Okay, so he's saying to me, this is the 3rd movement. You need to listen to the 3rd movement of his organ symphony in C minor, because you need to see how it achieves C major. So what he's wanting me to say to you is step out of the ancestral line, burn back, calcinate the ancestral song that's been running through you. That was merely the theme. It's time to move to the variations. Again, he is pointing to the Benjamin Britten introduction to an orchestra over the theme of Purcell, but he's going, that's just child's play, and not in a mocking way, because it's absolutely serious in its composition and its structure. But he's saying, if you really want to understand the true music in your soul, the third movement of his organ symphony, number 3 in C minor. See, it's interesting. I just need to write this down. Holly, he's already telling me something for you, but that's naughty because it's in someone else's reading. Okay, so let's go back to the cards. There's something in this energy of this third movement that will feel exhausting. Vanessa. Almost like you want to turn the music off because it's absolutely not sucking the life out of you, but it's prodding you, it's poking you, it's creating something. Oh, I may have given you the wrong number then. I thought there were only 3 movements in the organ symphony. It should be the final movement. I thought there was a first movement, a second movement, and a third movement. It's the last movement. It's when the organ crashes in C major with the orchestra and they do that. Bam! There it goes. Chung, 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 chung. Ba, 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 ba. Chung, 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 chung. It's amazing. Visually as well, it's striking. When you see it, the entire string section are all doing shung, shung, shung. They're doing single bow motions. And so visually, you see this wonderful piece. Its structure in its movement, not just in its audio-ness. So you have Boyle, the petulant djinn. There's something here about this sense of being bottled up. Seriously, I think Camille's been watching I Dream of Jeannie with Larry Hagman and Barbara Bel Geddes, maybe? Not thought about that for a very long time. There's something here, this notion of after the applause. What will you do when you're healed, Vanessa? Yeah, that's it. Maestoso Allegro. It's absolutely brilliant piece of music. Especially there's these dark, sinister bits that come through. Oh, I'm sorry, Renee. I did post it on a new community page. So, Boyle, the petulant djinn, the genie's out the bottle. Yeah, exactly, and it's after a G major chord, so it does a 5-1, and it's unbelievable, that piece of music. So Camille is looking a little bit embarrassed and blushed. No, he's not. He's not really, he's pretending. He's like, he knows it's good. He said, I can post it. I know it's good. I know what I did. So this petulant djinn, there's something about what will you do after the applause? So let me just turn these over, because this is change. You will change. You will follow sacred truth. So there's something cosmic and fervent. There's a vibration, the keeper of secrets and the guardian of veils, releasing all matter to matter forever in love. So Vanessa, this is somehow the cosmic egg of eruption, but I want to say the cosmic egg is absolutely every single atom, and it's asking you to open to the esoteric mystery walking. So to actually just decide it's time to tune into. It's interesting. There's another thing coming through. I think it's Plato. The soul takes flight to the world that is invisible. So it's almost like a resettling, a rewriting of your core cellular frequencies that just want to sail. They just want to sail you into the new, into a phoenix-driven timeline. And there's something in that timeline that there will be no applause. There's something in this energy of this after the applause. Needing the applause, needing the validation. And Camille is saying, you validate you. You are the one that chooses what is your truth. So let me get another card, and then we'll come back. We'll see if there's any other note in the realm or where you're going. Not taking 4. Interesting. So, thank you, Carla. I love you too. I love everyone. I love. So here we have Ceres. Ceres is the seat of the soul. But there's something here about this open air concert. There's something here about being at the music festival. And now then, Vanessa, it's almost like going to the music festival and unplugging the sound system and just saying, can you not hear the songs of the land around you? Turn off these amplifiers, almost like having a power cut, burning everything back so that you can sit in this wonderful mossy, babbling brook energy, this divine feminine, the harvest, in this energy of self-love, of recoding. There is a recoding for you, and a peacefulness, an outdoors energy. I am growing, the nurturer. Sacred female fertility rituals, harvesting to gather crops, grains and seeds, and feeding the soil and preparing for future growth. I want to say you're entering the realm of the phoenix. That's what's coming across. So yes, this is dying, although it's renewing. Sorry. Let's do it another way. interesting. So in that one, Camille was kind of showing me this C major chord, that organ symphony sound, being some kind of like stable anchoring. The energy just pump, pump, like a heartbeat of the realm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that having this, almost like that being the rubbing of the phoenix lantern, so that this energy of being bottled up can begin to rise. There's something about the fearing being too small for the realm that you have created to enter now. You're not. That's all to do with growth. We've got the D of the sacral. And somehow that's bringing something new. That's bringing the anchor point that you need. So you have this. And inside of that realm, is you emerging as Barbara Bel Geddes. Oh, he watches a lot of tacky shows up there, I'm telling you, does Camille. So, Vanessa, I hope that's helpful. So, we're now moving on to Holly. You will love the organ symphony. It is incredible. But Holly, you need to listen to, apparently, the Piano Concerto number 5. I don't know it. I'm going to listen to it myself. It's his most oriental. So, Sanson used to follow the French word hivernage, which I'm sure Kathy will know all about. So hivernage is to winter somewhere else from where you live. And he used to winter in Algeria and Egypt. And at first when he was composing, because he had a love of Oriental music, he did a pastiche of what a Western ear expected Oriental music to be. And then later, I think he did 40 odd years of wintering there. Cool. And so yeah, he began to compose, writing down the songs and the melodies of the local Egyptian and Algerian fishermen and things like that. So his music went from being a pastiche to truly capturing the energy of the spirit of place. I guess that's what he's talking about. He's feeling very proud right now, which is interesting because most of the time he's a little bit naughty, it must be said. Interesting. So remove all that is not true. Convert it. Slowing down to see. So this is like talking about his earlier music, your earlier emotional language is just a kind of pastiche of your truth. Because now he's bringing Venus. You see, and this is a pause bar. I just need to say that. Pause. In this eclipse tunnel. Yeah, hivernage. Yeah, it's to winter abroad, Kathy. So, Holly, this is to honour your heart's desires. And this is Very much what he's speaking about. And then we've also got here Pisces. So apparently I have to sing before I explain. He wants you to hear, he wants us all to hear these notes. Interesting. There is a swan transformation hidden within. There's something about you listening, and that's why he brought it up. He obviously knew you were listening to 1 and 2, and then you're going to move to 5. Oh, look, 1 and 2. Holly. So, Holly, I also need to ask, did you listen to, same as Hibernate? Yeah. Did you listen to Piggy reading, Holly? Oh, no, there's a neighborhood in Marrakesh. See, I didn't enjoy Marrakesh. I enjoyed other parts of Morocco, but not so much that. Yeah, they're still there. I swear they're still there, Kathy, all of those people Ivanaging. We love learning new words. So, Holly, there must be something in the piggy. And then this swan transformation, because that really did... So there's something here. I like a springboard, Holly, is what's coming through. These notes, this F sharp of Venus, G of Jupiter, E flat. It's like it's the... So there's something about him saying it's almost like just idle creativity. Idle creativity. And from idle creativity comes grand gestures. So embrace your desire to be idly creative at times. So the pig reading has got lots of pictures on the front. Me as a golden angel, the fire horse, the pig. I can't remember which reading it was, but it is in there. And it was a really interesting reading. So Camille says you've got to go look at it. Okay, so I need to turn these over and look at the I ams. Yeah, you see, this is exactly it. I am converted. I am idle. I am creative. I am changing beliefs. All these energies going back over the details casually. And then suddenly, those notes. Are shadows lit from different angles. So it's becoming, acknowledging the prosperity, acknowledging that you see, what I want to say is the sea womb absorbing fire and fury. And that has something to do with not being forced into passionate construction, creativity, but allowing there to be an emotional exhilaration attached. You see, it's interesting. You've got the sea womb and the esoteric sea sponge. This notion, it is the swan. The swan has an air of absolute elegance, but underneath the water, where you can't see, there's this paddling. And there's something here about, as you come out of this eclipse door, Samson wants to say, it's time to just glide, to just flow, to remove all of the kind of splashing steps. So there's a peal of bells. There's a very strong possibility of what we would call a Kundalini transformation taking place for you. But don't imagine it as something that rises. This is the bird, the swan, landing on the lake. Okay, so now I'm also getting, there's a really, really stunningly beautiful piece of music, Holly, that you have to listen to. It's by Sibelius. And Sibelius wrote a piece of Finlandish folk music that's called the Swanatunaler. And all of the strings in this, you see, it's interesting, you see, Camille is talking about how earlier there was all this visual bowing, and he's going, but what Sibelius did was incredible. He took his string sections and he divided every part in four. So you get 4 first violins, 4 second violins, 4 violas, 4 cellos, 4 double basses. And they create this huge, open expanse of placid calmness. It's really interesting. And then across, because we have here the divine celestial songbird, this kind of hummingbird swan energy. So in this piece of music, the cor anglais, which is the English horn, which is a larger oboe, but it has this crook, a metal silver crook, which mutes down the sound. And it is the sound, the song of the swan as it glides across this placid lake. That's the frequency he wants you to tune into, is to just be, there's an incredible use of dark woodwind and brass in this music and some harps. But the notion is that Samson's saying, it's time to, I can't find the phrase that he's trying to put into my head. It's the glass darkly phrase. I can't remember what it is. To look through a glass darkly. Look through love darkly. Look at the darker frequencies that exist within the true sheer magnificence of the swan gliding across the lake. And the idea is it's singing just before it dies. So it's this removal of the old to honor your heart's desires and to cosmically conjure something incredibly new. It's so gorgeous. So I'm gonna shuffle. Bang my knee. See, no more, I need some water, hang on. I think that's the wrong lid. Do you know, I think that's the bottle that my hostess gave me. I think she refills bottles. See, it should be a blue lid. Because she gave me a bottle of water the other day and I couldn't drink it. It gone off. I think that one might be off. You can't refill bottles of plastic water. I'll go and buy one when I finish. I'll survive. So yes, Holly, sorry. There must be a message in that of to do with renewal of emotions. There's a few cards have turned over in the deck, but I don't want them. I want them to fall. Interesting. Pallas Athena and Spirit. So we're looking at a kind of 4-4-8-8, which has got the energy of 12-12, but it's also got the energy of 8-8-8. So really strong, powerful, spiritual connection. So again, just wipe that off. We've got the sense of the spiritual pentatonic scale of Asian music. So yeah, that's definitely this energy of piano concerto number 5, Holly, that he wants you to tune into. He says he's very extremely proud of that piece of music. But let me just see here. We have the pentatonic. But what he wants me to do is to sing for you the Cosmic Lullaby, but starting on an F sharp, and I usually start on a G sharp. So this has something to do with sleep and restfulness. This will help you to sleep. It's a pentatonic lullaby. So, there we go, Holly. Wassail, people l'amour! In sickness and in health. I love that, Trevor. You are the pun factory that I adore. So, I believe I've done everybody. Yes, the Egyptian concerto. That's exactly it. Camille says he's very, very proud of that one. He really did tune into the songs of Egypt. He died in Algeria, you know, in 1921. He married briefly a young woman, I've forgotten her name. They had 2 children, 2 boys. One died from ill health, and a few weeks later, the other one fell off a balcony and died. And so in 1881, because he kind of thought she wasn't looking after the child, Sanson left and never returned and lived his lonely life, Ivanaging in Algeria and Egypt. Yes, it is time for breakfast. That will be exciting. Thank you all so much because, look, your donations really help. I did take an enormous risk in just setting off because I needed to be here for the lunar eclipse and Camille was calling to me. And then I got here and I then panicked that I didn't actually have any funding left to get off the island. But so today we resolved that so we can think about where we might go next, because I'd quite like to go up the Mekong River into Cambodia because I think we all deserve to see beautiful lands. So thank you all so much. There will be more posted, not tomorrow but the next day. I'm going to take us up to the national park, but I have to buy a ticket with my passport for that. Yeah, it really is a completely different energy. Even the very nature of the language feels very Janus. So Janus is the two-faced god in the middle of the Ædan Geminis, the eclipse tunnels. So in Vietnamese, it's an interesting language. It's the only Asian language written in the italic setting, alphabet setting. It's not written in pictograms and things, but also it has no tenses. So you say, I tomorrow go, I yesterday go, I now go, I already go. The tense stays the same. So it means that you are somehow in the speech, in the magic and the Galdering of the language of Vietnamese. It's all in the now. And I really love that about it. There's something really, really interesting. You don't have to conjugate verbs. It's the same. The now is always the now. So, I don't know what flipping pig. Oh, did you post it on there to show what it was? It doesn't matter. Let me look it up now. Now that I don't have... Oh, piano is playing up there. Let me just have a quick look and I'll find which reading it was. View channel. That's a bit weird. Can't see it. Oh, it's the one that says million-year-old pure water. It's in that one. It's in the one with the water bottle on it. With the stagnant water that's gone off, that's been refilled. I mean, how cheeky is that to give people unpurified pure water? I should have words with her. Because I think I paid for the other bottle that was off. Not doing that again. Go to the shop next door, they've got them in the fridge. So beautiful people, thank you. There's lots of exciting things for us to explore still. I just don't know where I'm exploring. Also, I've got this real desire to get to India, which I've never had before. But I think I need to maybe take us on a year's journey around India. See what you think. Have discussions. Talk to me in the new community channel. I'd like to go to Thailand. Yeah, that's the one, Kathy, I think. Yeah, Kerala. Kerala's just being renamed Keralam. And Kerala I would like because Kerala has sour. Interesting, Trevor. I like the idea. I'm going to explore that as a notion today. That's going to be my philosophical field work. So, everybody, I find it so hard to turn off. But I need to go and get some breakfast. Because I don't know, what's the time now? 8:40. We've been here for 2.5 hours. There's a whole shiny, sunny, very intensely humid world out there. So beautiful people, talk to me, talk to each other in the community page. Let's grow this channel as we travel. Thanks, Lisa. Adios.